it's been a little while. I haven't posted in like 2 weeks, and we're going to get into why. That's actually what inspired me to do this live. So I am about to be very transparent, and I'm terrified. I don't know why I'm so nervous. It's probably because I'm about to be very vulnerable. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I've been angry at God. That's why I haven't posted anything in a couple weeks. Cause I just been frustrated with God. Like, why are you taking so long? Why are you taking so long? I've been so obedient. I've been showing up every single day. I've been being consistent. I've been living by the fruits of the Spirit. So, why does it feel like you're torturing me or you're teasing me? You say you'll give us the desires of our heart, but here I am. Since I've been on this journey 2.5 years, here I am, 2.5 years in, and it seems like things have just gotten worse. Things have just gotten harder. And I, I'm gonna be honest. I was begging God to stop waking me up. Literally, I was like, God, if this is how my life is going to be for the rest of my life, and you're never going to give me the desires of my heart, just stop waking me up, please. And I was in the kitchen yelling at God. I was like, God, please just don't wake me up tomorrow. Please just don't wake me up. Stop waking me up. And I was saying a lot of stuff. I didn't say anything like "F you, God, I hate you," but I was just like, I was like, why are you doing this, God? Why? And I'm just like, I've been being obedient. I've been doing everything you asked me to do, even when it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm tired, Lord. I'm tired. Just take me. And I'm smiling and like being lighthearted about it now. But when I was in the midst of it, I literally felt like I was being attacked, like it was heavy spiritual warfare. And I was just like, God, please, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being on this earth. I'm tired of being on this planet. And I'm like, it seems like no matter what I do, no matter what I do, no matter how much I try, nothing changes. And I I had to I had to close down my coaching business. I'm being very transparent, so forgive me if I'm a little anxious. But yeah, I closed down my coaching business. Even though I know God called me to help people heal and become the best versions of themselves. And I know that God called me to be a coach. I know He called me to be a teacher. But I didn't make any money. The whole year I had my coaching business, I didn't make a single dime, but I kept having to spend money and invest. And I was doing everything I could, and it just seemed like it wasn't good enough. I was trying my best. I was promoting. I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to be doing. And nothing happened. Literally, it was like crickets. And it's crazy because prior to me going legit and actually, you know, actually making LLC and doing all that, I made money before I actually went legit. I coached people previously before I officially started my LLC and did everything legally. I made money prior to that. And I had people that I was coaching prior to that. So to be like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna move to Atlanta like you told me, and I'm gonna start my coaching business. I'm gonna put the money up. Like I was doing things that I never did before, and I was taking a risk. I was stepping out on faith, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And on top of that, trying to juggle getting my coaching business running on top of keeping up with my content, on top of doing gig work, the work that actually pays my bills, because I haven't made a dime off YouTube. Doing the work that actually pays my bills, having to do that 50 plus hours a week on top of going to the gym. So I'm like, I'm juggling this coaching business. I'm juggling my YouTube content. I'm juggling working 50 plus hours a week and going to the gym. I barely even have free time. And I can't remember what recently happened, but I think it was just a string of events that just pushed me over the edge where I I just felt like I was about to break. I literally was just breaking down. Like I haven't felt like that in a really long time. And I was just yelling at God. I was like, God, like, I don't understand. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I was like, God, and it's like when you're angry at God, you're angry at God because you know that all things are possible through God. And you truly do believe in his power. And you know that he can change things in the blink of an eye and the snap of a finger. And yet he hasn't. That is why we get so angry with God. And it's understandable because it's like, God, why can't you just change this like now? Like you can just change this in a second. Why haven't you done it? So I even started having like crazy thoughts like, Kyla, yes, you know God is real because you've seen what God has done for others. But God doesn't really care about you. That's why he hasn't done it. God has favorites and you're just not one of them. That's why he hasn't done it. God doesn't really love you. Yeah, God is real, but he don't really care about you. You're not one of his favorites. I started having thoughts like that. And I was just like, man, maybe I should just delete my YouTube channel and delete all my social media. Maybe I should just go back to school, go back to college, become a nurse, become a teacher. And when I tried to entertain that, even in the midst of me being so angry and frustrated with God and feeling lost, when I try to entertain going a different path instead of the one I'm on, it just didn't feel right in my spirit. It didn't feel right in my spirit. And I was mad because I'm like, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just have a normal career and path? Like, why have you given me such a big purpose when I feel like I'm too small to do it? Like, I don't feel like I'm qualified. And if you look at the stats, the fact that I didn't make any money from my coaching business, the fact that I haven't made any money from YouTube, even though I've been doing it for almost 10 years, almost a decade, logically, I'm like, give it up. Yeah, you should quit this shit. Stop wasting your life. Go back to school and get a good career so you can be stable. But when I try to entertain that, it just doesn't feel right. I would feel like I was living a lie. But I'm like, okay, I know that means this is God calling me to do it. But if you're calling me to do it, why are you not helping me? Why aren't you making something happen? It's not like I'm just asking you to hand me everything on a silver platter. Nah, just help me out. Help a nigga out. Like, I'm like, God, I'm not just doing me. I'm not just trying to do things my own way. I'm constantly asking you for help. And I feel like you just leaving me on red. You just leaving my messages on red, God. That's literally how I was feeling. But even though I felt that way, even though I felt that way, and I'm gonna be real, I was so angry, I didn't even really want to talk to God. I didn't even really want to talk to him. But even though I was angry and I didn't want to talk to him, I didn't feel right not talking to him. So I was just honest and I was like, God, I'm going to be real. I'm angry with you and I'm frustrated with you because I just don't understand why you're making things so hard for me. I've seen what you've done for others. I've I know that you're real. I know that you're powerful. But why does it seem like you're not moving for me? Like, I don't get it, God. I'm lost. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. But even so, I know that you're real. I know that you're real. Even though I'm angry, even though I'm frustrated, I know that you're real. And I just can't turn my back on you. This is literally what I was saying to God. And because, like, and I know it was the enemy. I know it was the enemy trying to make me turn my back on God. It was the enemy. It was the enemy whispering those lies, saying, "Yeah, God is real, but He don't really care about you. He don't really love you. You not one of His favorites." Even though God doesn't have favorites, God favors His children who put Him first. But anyways, all those crazy thoughts I was having, like God doesn't really love me, God doesn't really care about me. That was the enemy. And he almost he was trying to make me turn my back on God. That's why I was feeling like, man, I'm so angry at God. I don't even want to talk to him. But something in my spirit wouldn't allow me not to. Something in my spirit was like, hell nah. We cannot go a day without talking to God. Even if we angry at him right now, we got an attitude, we throwing a little temper tantrum. And I know God just be like, poor little Ting Ting, she don't even know what I have in store for her. She this and God checked me. He made me realize you're not living by the fruits of the spirit. Patience, faithfulness. You ready to throw in the towel because I haven't given you the desires of your heart yet? You act like you 80, 90 years old. You're only 32. Just because I haven't done it yet doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. And that's what made me realize, okay, I'm struggling with patience. I'm struggling with faithfulness. Me wanting to throw in the towel, me wanting to give up. That's me lacking faith. Me feeling anxious because I'm like, God, when? When are you going to do it? When? That's me lacking patience. And those are two fruits of the Spirit. So he checked me with that. Then he checked me like, Kyla, didn't you tell me no matter what, whether I give you the desires of your heart or not, didn't you tell me you were going to be dedicated to me and loyal to me no matter what? Didn't you tell me that? And I'm like, yeah, I did say that, Lord, but I was just in the moment. I was just feeling the spirit, like, but I was like, nah, Kyla, you said that. There's so many times I told God, no matter what you give me or don't give me, I love you regardless. I'm going to serve you regardless. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep hitting the ring light. But yeah, he reminded me of all those promises I made to him. And I was like, damn, you're right. I did say that. And I did mean it. And I realized like I was just having a moment, which is human. And some of the prophets in the Bible had those moments with God too. That's another thing he reminded me. He reminded me of all the people in the Bible that had to wait for a long time and that were tested. But they eventually received their promise. They eventually got to their promised land. But prior to that, they had to be in the wilderness. God had to put them through a process. And I'm no different than them. I'm no different than the prophets in the Bible. And he reminded me that they eventually got the desires of their heart. He eventually led them to their promised land. So he reminded me of that. And he reminded me of all the prayers he has answered, all the times he made a way when it seemed like there wasn't a way. He reminded me of all those times because I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, and God doesn't care about me. God never answers my prayers. Like, and he was like, oh, really? I never answer your prayers? What about that time? Blah, 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 blah. Like, and he was like, it was so many things coming to my memory that God did in the past. Times where I remember praising him in that moment, like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. Wow, Lord. Da, da, da. He reminded me of all those moments in the past. And I instantly felt bad. I'm like, damn, you're right, God. You're right. I feel so bad. I feel like a spoiled little brat. I feel like a spoiled little child right now. And I was just feeling bad and I just felt so guilty. But it's not because God was making me feel guilty. I was just feeling guilty because I'm like, dang, I really crashed out on God. I didn't like call God out his name or anything or be like, I hate you. But I was like, what the fuck? Just kill me, God. Just take me now, Lord. I'm tired of being on this earth. I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of trying and nothing changing. Like, I know God was like, okay. How long is this going to be? Like, it's like, because Jeremiah 29:11, God already knows the plans he has for us. We just don't know. So I know God probably be calm and cool as ever when we be crashing out, going off and throwing our little temper tantrums. I know he just be like, this, my baby doesn't even realize what I have in store, what I have planned for them. And he was reminding me of all these things. He even reminded me of all the signs that he's given me, all the confirmations that he's given me, all the times where I would have a thought or a feeling. I wouldn't even verbally, there's times I wouldn't even verbally express things to God, but he will literally answer my thoughts or respond to the feeling that I had and give me reassurance. And I'll be like, Lord, wow, how did you respond to my thought when I didn't even verbally say this to you? I didn't even verbally say this to you. Like, you literally read my mind and then responded to it. Like, there's so many times that has happened where I'm like, I cannot write this off as a coincidence. There's been so many times where God has given me confirmations and signs that I'm on the right path, especially since I moved to Atlanta. I've had so many spiritual experiences and so many spiritual encounters living here in Atlanta. And it's not because I'm in Atlanta, it's really because I'm in the wilderness. I'm no longer in my hometown, I'm no longer in my comfort zone. So I've had to depend on God like never before. And that's really was made me have so many spiritual encounters since I moved out into the wilderness. I'm so sorry, guys. My voice was giving out. I needed some water. But yeah, he was reminding me of all these things, even dreams. I had so many dreams. I would say probably like a year and a half before I moved to Atlanta. I had so many crazy dreams. And some of those dreams have happened. Some of those dreams came into fruition. And he reminded me of certain dreams. Like one of the dreams I had, I was on this shuttle bus and it was a bunch of other people. And the shuttle bus would constantly make stops. And people would be like, oh, like, can I get off? I need to get something out of my car. Can I get off? I need to use the restroom. And he was so nice to everybody else. Like, anytime somebody wanted to get off the bus driver would let them off the bus. But as soon as I asked to get off the bus, it's like his whole demeanor changed. Like he completely went dark. His eyes, like he just had this evilness to him. And I was like, can I get off the bus? And he was like, no. Just no expression, nothing. And I'm just like, well, why not? And he just kept saying no. He wouldn't give me a reason. But he kept letting other people off the bus. But anytime I asked to get off the bus, he wouldn't let me off the bus. So I started panicking. And as soon as I started panicking, an angel came out of nowhere and swooped me off the bus. And when she swooped me off the bus, she was like, do you know why the devil doesn't want to let you go? And I was like, no. And she was like, come here, I want to take you somewhere. And she grabs my hand and we start walking somewhere. And then I wake up from the dream. So I was like, dang, God, why couldn't you show me the rest? And then I had multiple dreams of me being on planes. And one dream, I was the pilot. I was flying the plane, or so I thought I was the pilot, but I was the pilot and I was flying the plane. And all of a sudden, the plane started going down. And I was like, damn, I think the plane's about to crash. But I was calm. I wasn't panicking. And as soon as I was like, damn, I think the plane is about to crash, I just had this calmness like, everything's going to be okay. Even though it seems like the plane's about to crash, everything's going to be okay. And I woke up from the dream. Before the plane crashed, I woke up from the dream. Then I had another dream. I was on a plane with a bunch of other people, and the plane started to go down, and it seemed like it was about to crash. And everybody else on the plane was just panicking, like, oh my God, we're all about to die. And I was only one sitting there, calm, cool, and collected. I was calm, and I said to myself, everything's going to be okay. I don't know why they're panicking. Everything's going to be okay. And literally before the plane crashed, I woke up from the dream. So, fast forward to reality. A week after I moved to Atlanta, I see this truck. The front of the license plate says, God is my pilot. And it was a commercial truck. It was a commercial business truck. And at the front of the license plate said, God is my pilot. I kid you not. A few days ago, when I was in the midst of the storm and I was just going through it, and I'm just like, Lord, like, I'm just angry with God. I'm confused. I'm lost. Guess what I see? I'm driving on the freeway, on the way to the gym. And something told me to look in my rearview mirror. I look up in my rearview mirror and I see a SUV, a completely different car than the pickup truck. I see a SUV, but right behind me in my rearview mirror, guess what the front of the license plate said? God is my pilot. I kid you not, two completely different cars. That was not a coincidence. That was God reassuring me, baby, everything is going to be okay. It might seem right now how your life looks. It might seem like the plane is about to crash, but I'm your pilot. I'm not going to let you crash. I'm not going to let you fall. And I say all that to say, I'm sorry, it was a lot for me to be vulnerable and share certain things that I shared in this live because even though I'm an open person, at the same time, I'm a very private person. I'm a very private person and I am always looked at as the strong one. So admitting when I'm struggling, I ain't gonna lie, it takes a lot. Especially the strangers on YouTube. Like technically, I don't even know y'all. Y'all don't even know me. But if you're in your wilderness, you're angry at God, or you have times where you just feel frustrated with God. You don't understand why he's doing what he's doing, or why he's not doing what you're asking him to do. I want to leave you with this affirmation that I say almost every day. Even when I don't understand, I trust God's timing and I trust God's plan. Even when I don't understand, I trust God's timing and I trust God's plan. Say that every day, especially when you feel angry, especially when you feel frustrated and lost. Say that affirmation every single day. But yeah, I really don't know where my life is headed. And like I said, I know I'm called to be a coach. I know I'm called to be a teacher. Even though I don't feel qualified, similar to Moses, I'm like, God, why did you give me this purpose? You know, I'm an introvert and I have anxiety. Like, I have a fucking, excuse my language, but I'm like, I have a damn anxiety disorder. Like, it low key terrifies me to speak, but at the same time, I can't shut up. And that's how I know it's God, because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, even though I don't know where my life is headed, I know called I'm called to be a teacher. I'm called to help people heal. And even though I cancel my coaching business, I know at some point I'm going to come back to it. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know. I feel like there's more things I need to learn. Even with my YouTube channel, I don't know why I keep doing this. I don't know. I know why I keep doing it. I keep doing it because I'm simply being obedient. I'm really just doing what God is telling me to do, but it doesn't make sense. But even though I don't know where my life is headed, even though I don't understand what God is doing, even though things don't make sense, I trust God's timing and I trust God's plan. Period. And that's how you have to be. A lot of times, God will get you to the point where you have no choice. You have no choice. And that's literally where I'm at. But yeah, I pray this message bless you in some way. And if it did, please make sure you like it. Make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.